Today we're going to be going over 8 new speed drills that you could do in 2024. This drill will help you with hip flexor strength. Now when you run, when it comes down to your stride length, your knee drive, the spot that we want to get to is this 90-degree angle. That's the optimal angle with your lower body for running speed and for explosiveness and power in your running mechanics. So this first drill is going to be something called a 90-degree hold. So what you're going to do, you're going to have your hands on your hips and you're just going to hold your leg up at 90 degrees. Toes are not going to be facing downward. You want to keep them in dorsiflexion, which means your ankle is flexed, and you're going to have your knee up, perfect 90-degree angle, and you're going to hold this for 30 seconds. And then what you're going to do is you're going to switch legs and hold the opposite leg for 30 seconds. To be able to get to that 90-degree angle, you need to have some strength in your hip flexor, and you also need mobility in your hip flexor, and that's what this drill is going to work on. Now we're going to show you full speed. This next drill will help with your knee drive. Now this next drill is going to be called switches. So switches is where you start out in that same 90-degree hold position that we were talking about. But what you're going to do is you're just going to simply switch your feet. So you're going to go from 90-degree on your left leg, switch to the opposite leg, 90-degree on my right leg. So you're going to do those switches for about 10 to 12 reps. And our focus is trying to drive my knee up, keep my ankle flexed, and drive my toe up as fast as I can, because that's how we ultimately have to cycle through when I am running. So switches works on the proper foot strike, works on the proper stride length, and ultimately knee drive. So again, we start out here, switch, and go back. Now I'm going to show you how this thing should look full speed. Now, if you're an athlete and you want to get bigger this offseason and stronger this offseason, check out that very first link in the description below for our AG Labs Creatine 100 Serving Monohydrate. Guys, what creatine will help you do is it pulls the water from your body and internally hydrates your muscles, which increases your strength in the gym, increases your explosiveness on the field, so you can get more out of your field workouts and your gym workouts. So guys, creatine is the best way to put on muscle mass in the offseason, so check out that very first link in the description below if you want a 100 serving creatine monohydrate powder. Also guys, use the promo code FIRST15 FIRST15 at checkout and you will get 15% off our 100 serving powder. This drill can help increase explosiveness. Now this next drill is going to be called quick switches. So remember the last drill that we went over where we started out here at 90 and we just did regular switches? Now it's going to be a quick switch to work on ultimately our, like, I guess you could say, knee drive, knee quickness, which helps us with on-field speeds. You're going to start out in that same 90-degree position, and what you're going to do is you're going to switch your feet when you land, but as soon as you land with that left foot and this opposite knee drives up, keeping this ankle flexed, 90-degree angle, you're going to switch back again. So it's going to be just a pop. So when we do that, we're trying to focus on striking the ground on the ball of my foot, as that's the most explosive part of the foot. That's what will help you shoot up, drive your opposite knee up, which also will help with speed. So I'm going to show you how this thing should look full speed. This is the best drill to improve your foot strike. Now this drill is called a straight-legged run. So what you're gonna do is you need 2 cones set up, or you could use yard markers if you're on like an actual turf field. But what you're gonna do is for 5 yards, you're gonna be performing, again, this straight-legged run. So this is exactly how it sounds. Your legs are gonna stay straight. You are not gonna bend your knees. You're gonna have a slight forward lean with your upper half. And we are just going to run through as quickly as I can, moving my feet and moving my hands as fast as possible. Now, how does this help with foot strike? How does this help with speed? So obviously we mentioned it earlier. When we strike the ground, we're trying to strike the ground on the ball of my foot and explode up. And that ball of the foot is the most explosive part of the foot. Now, a lot of guys just don't have the strength or don't have enough repetitions in of doing movements on the ball of their foot. They run very flat-footed. Their heel breaks and slaps down onto the ground, and that's going to make us slow. So what we want to do on this drill is we want to stay on the ball of my foot my whole time. And I will only be able to do this straight-legged run on the ball of my foot. If my heel hits the ground, I'm not going to be able to go anywhere. So for 5 yards, you're doing that straight-legged run. I'm going to show you how this thing should look full speed. This is the best drill for arm drive. Now this next drill is called kneeling arm drive. So what this is going to be working on is you guys driving from your arms from your shoulders. A lot of times what guys will do when they run, and this common mistake that they make, is that they'll run, they'll try to go as fast as they can, but their elbows will flatten out. When your elbow flattens out, that cuts out about 50% of the arm drive that we need. Running is ultimately 50% lower body, but also 50% upper body. So your arms need to work in sync with your legs, and 90 degree angles are always crucial when we we are running. So when we run, we want to keep a 90-degree angle with my arm, and I want to go right past my pockets with my hands and right up to my cheek with my hands. So right past the pockets, right up to the cheek. And notice how my shoulders are swinging me. That's what this drill works on. So what you're going to do is you're going to start out kneeling. If you want, you can put a pad on your knee if you're not doing this on like a grass surface. But you're going to start out with really long arm swings. Arms are going to be extended, and you're going to feel how you should flow from your shoulders. Then, after about 5 repetitions, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to go to the sharp 90-degree angle, and we're going to go as fast as we can for about 8 to 10 seconds. Now, if we're doing this correctly, your knee is going to bounce up and down on the ground. If you're doing this incorrectly, your knee is not going to move. So it forces us to drive from my shoulders, because that will make my knee bounce up and down on this grass surface. So I'm gonna show you how this thing should look full speed. Now, before we get into that full speed example, you guys, if you want a great protein powder that's easy on your stomach, easy to digest, and going to help you recover faster after your workouts, check out that second link in the description below for our AG Labs Whey Protein Powder. This is our chocolate flavor. We have chocolate, we have vanilla flavors, and we have new flavors coming soon. So check out that second link in the description below if you want a great protein powder for athletes that's easy to digest and easy on your stomach. Again, use promo code FIRST15 at checkout for 15% off. Second link in that description below. This next drill is great for ankle strength. Now, this drill is a very simple drill that can help you with not having your ankle, or your heel, I should say, cave down when you run. We talked about this earlier in this video. When you are running, what part of the foot do I want to stay on? I want to stay on the ball of my foot, right? But when I strike the ground with my ball of my foot, a great test of ankle strength and ankle stability in athletes is if when you strike on the ball of your foot, if your heel slaps down and your heel caves, that tells me that I don't have the strongest ankles, and that limits my ability to drive and explode up. So this is going to be a great test of that and a great drill to work on. And so for about a 20-yard space, I would say anywhere from 15 to 20 yards, you're going to stand on one foot, and you want to record yourself while you're doing this to see where you're at, because it may feel like your heel is not touching the ground, but it might actually be touching the ground. So on one foot, all you're going to do is you are just going to hop for 20 yards as quickly as we can, staying on the ball of my foot and my toes, not allowing my heel to hit the ground. You might feel this in your ankle a little bit. That's a good thing, especially if you have weak ankle stability. So this is a test to see if your heel caves down and if ankle stability is something you need to work on. This drill will improve your top speed. Now, this drill is called wall switches. You can do this on a fence, you can do this on a wall, but essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to be leaning forward with a 45-degree angle with your body, and you're going to have one of your feet up at a 90-degree angle. Perfect 90 degrees, ankle's not facing down, ankle is flexed, and toe is facing up. So what you're going to do is you're going to switch as quick as you can. If you have a partner doing this drill with you, I recommend you switching off of like a clap. So your partner claps, that's when you're going to switch your feet. So you're going to start out here, knees up, partner clap, switch. And what we were doing is we were working on the quickness of the switch and me snatching my knee up and driving off the ball of my foot, which is the most athletic part of my foot. So why does this drill help? It helps because it also works on your posture while running. Because when we run, we never want to be leaning back, right? But we never want to be too far forward. We want just a slight forward lean, almost like I am pulling a sled, and I still want to be able to get to that 90-degree knee drive position. So we're going to show you how this thing should look full speed. This drill is great for foot strike, explosion, and developing speed. Now, this next drill is going to be great for you guys driving your knee and your toe up, obviously like your running stride, but also generating explosion off of the ball of your foot. So you're going to do this for about, I would say, anywhere from 5 to 6 yards. You're going to stay on one foot. You want to work about 3 to 4 sets on each leg, but you're going to hop 3 times. So it's just going to be hop 1, hop 2, then on the third hop, as soon as you hit the ground with the ball of your foot, you're going to snatch your knee up and snatch your toe up. Then you're going to land, 1, 2, 3, snatch up, 1, 2, 3, snatch up. So we're working on staying on the ball of my foot my whole time, not letting my heel hit the ground, and focus on driving my knee up and driving my toe up to that perfect running form position on the third hop. I'm going to show you how this thing should look full speed.